Jackson County portion of our media day today, and we want to welcome Coach Joe Hollis, his first season as a head football coach for the Chiefs at North Jackson. And Coach, if you would introduce the players or let them introduce themselves and give us some preseason comments on your North Jackson Chiefs.
Okay. To my right here, we have Myron Walton. He's a senior. He's a running back, starting safety for us. He's had a really good summer camp, really been working hard this spring, bought in real early, and he's going to be a big-time leader for us this year. And to my left, we've got our offensive tackle, defensive tackle, Peyton King. He's returning. He's been a 3-year starter for us, has been all-region the last couple years, and he's a really hard worker, big leader, 6'4", about 345, so he's having a heck of a summer camp, and we're really excited about this upcoming season. This season, this group of guys we have has done a tremendous job of really working hard this summer. We've got new coaches. There's only 2 of us that are returning from last year's staff, and this new group of coaches over the course of the last 2 months have really been pushing these players hard and asking them to go above and beyond of what they've been used to, and it's been very productive. We look forward to just getting back to good old-fashioned football. This game is not that complicated, and us coaches try to make it a little more complicated than it actually is. It's about base fundamentals, being able to block, tackle, run with the football, play great defense, play great special teams. And this group of guys, now, I wish we were like Coach Elmore in Fort Payne and we had 104. We've got 43, and these guys have been working their tails off and doing a great job. But, you know, they're going to get a lot of reps. We're going back to the old school way where guys play both ways. And, you know, it's going to be, depth's going to be something that a lot of our 2s and our 3s are going to be guys that are going to get a lot of quality reps in football games this year. But it's been fun to see. It's been fun to see the excitement level of the kids with just getting back to old school football. We're not anything special. The players are kind of like me and the rest of the coaches. We're just guys that are going to get where we're going to get by hard work and competing in everything we do. From the time they show up, that's all we've worked on is doing the little things right, executing every assignment, whether it's in the weight room, in the classroom, or on the field. And we feel like this group's really doing it. They have worked hard, and there hasn't been anything that we've asked them to do up until this point that they haven't been ready and willing to do. And they're getting better every day, and that's a sign that you've got a decent team on your hands when they can get better every single day and improve at something.
Well, Coach Hollis, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. How did you get to be the coach at North Jackson?
Well, I'm like Coach Elmore and Coach Kirby and a bunch of the coaches that are going to be here today. I'm a coach's son. My dad was a college football coach. He coached for about 30 years in college. He was a head coach and an offensive coordinator. And so I just kind of, like my kids, I grew up around it, and I realized that I wasn't quite the athlete that the guys he was coaching were when I was a high school player, and I had a choice to make on whether or not I wanted to stay in the game of football. I didn't want to ever feel like I was actually going to work. So it served me better to be a coach because athletically I wasn't good enough to be a player. So it kind of gave me an excuse to grow up and be a kid for my entire adult life because I don't feel like I ever really go to work. But, you know, I got the job. I was a college coach for 9 years and got into high school in 2009 at Oak Mountain and worked at 3 or 4 different high schools until I got to North Jackson, and I came to North Jackson in 2014. I'd worked with Philip Lawley for 7 years at Auburn, so I kind of knew of North Jackson but hadn't been up here. And then when we moved here, I came when Coach Rose came back the second time in 2014, and it became home. Being a coach's kid, you're kind of like an Army brat. When I was growing up, we moved every 4 or 5 years. So I've been here now. Next year will be year 8, and my kids go to school in Jackson County. My wife's from Stevenson, Bridgeport area. So this is home. This is the closest thing we have to home. So this is where we want to stay. We're building a program from the ground floor up all the way Little League to middle school to high school. We've got about 7 or 8 assistant coaches right now, and they're doing an absolute tremendous job. It's going to be an exciting time. But the way this all panned out, heck, it's all timing. You never know. You just work your rear end off like our kids do, and if the opportunity comes, you try to get it, and it just worked out that way.
Well, this question's for the players. Guys, of course, Coach Hollis has been there, but you had a different head coach last year. What does he bring to the table now that you like?
Well, Coach Hollis, he really improvises the little things and working hard. That's what we've been doing, just little things.
I like he pushes us every day. He tell us, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do it right. And if we don't get it right, we're not gonna. We're gonna do it every single time until we get it right. And that's what I like.
Coach Hollis, right here. First of all, congratulations on the hire. And I guess I got two questions. First, talk a little bit about what you have picked up from being the coach at North Jackson, what you was from your dad. I know all the years. I'm sure he calls you a lot and tells you what you need to do.
Sure. Well, he's kind of a silent observer. He's been with us during fall camp. We started fall camp on Monday because we didn't play in the spring. So he's been here evaluating us all week and really evaluating me. He's evaluating the players and the other coaches, but he's got a list of notes as soon as practice is over of things that we can work on and get better. And when you have that sort of experience, you're not very smart if you don't use it. Look, this head coaching thing is a little bit overrated. We're as good as our assistant coaches. And that was the number one job when I accepted the job and became the coach at North Jackson, was to go out and find the best assistant coaches for our players that we can have. High school football, especially in rural county areas, we're the moms, dads, bus drivers, transportation, food supplier for a lot of our kids. So when you're going to do that on a day-to-day basis, you've got to have a great support staff of assistant coaches that are going to be ready and willing to do that. And we've been able to do that. We're really excited about the hires that we've made. We're really excited. We've got a lot of experience, and we've got a lot of young, energetic coaches, and it's been a great mix with our players because I'm right in the middle, which is kind of a good thing because I feel like I'm a little bit older, but I'm right in the middle age-wise. And when you have that, there's different coaches that players can relate to better, and it's been very exciting. It's been exciting to see it all mesh together this fall.
And also talk about your philosophy. I know last year, Coach Tygard, things were pretty wide open and some crazy things. But what is your philosophy on offense and defense?
I like to just play pure old football. We're looking about getting lined up, making great plays on defense, not being a misaligned, coming downhill, speaking with our pads. We want to be physical in everything we do. If you're a receiver or a running back or a tight end, you're going to block, and you're going to block like your hair's on fire if you want to touch the ball. And then if you're on defense, you're going to get lined up right, and you're going to make the tackle, or you're not going to play. And our guys have done a very good job of that this summer camp. Again, we're trying to minimize what our players are having to learn and trying to be able to focus on just pure football, blocking, tackling, running with the ball, playing great defense, being great on special teams. And there's not one way to skin this cat. Other coaches have different philosophies, and that's fine. And not all of them are bad. Some of them are really, really good. But we try to fit to our players. Going out and hiring these experienced coaches have allowed us to tailor our offense more towards what our players do well. So we're still going to be a physical football team. We're going to be able to run the football. We're going to be able to throw it when we want to. And if we can do those things, we'll have a chance to be successful.
For the players, you guys will open the season in a pretty big rivalry game at Scottsboro, a game that was, kind of hard fought on the end of things. You didn't come out the way you wanted to. What are you guys looking forward to about that game? What does it mean to play in that rivalry game, and how are you looking for that to set the tone for the rest of the season?
The game means a lot to me. I just want to go out there and, execute, do whatever we got to do to win. That's really what I want, and,
To me, the game means almost everything, really. It means a lot to the community, to the players, to the coaches, to the school. It means everything.
This is for the players. I went out to meet the Chiefs a couple of years ago and seeing the entire community come out was just like crazy. What does football mean there in North Jackson? And that's kind of a loaded question. I know it means a lot, but I want y'all to describe it. And then kind of just explain what it feels like to be the guys there in North Jackson, in Stevenson, having all these little kids and the community look up to y'all.
Well, I don't really know. I remember when I was a little kid, I Meet the Chiefs and meeting the guys, it was looking up to your role models. And now that I'm in those shoes, I try to be as good as a role model as possible.
I try to, I like being, the leader to everybody. I mean, I wouldn't say I like attention, but, I like showing everybody that one day you could do this.
Coach, do you play in a jamboree on the 12th or 13th?
Yes, sir. We're going on the 13th. We're going down to Brookwood,
Okay.
right outside of Tuscaloosa. And we're going to play Brookwood in a preseason game.
And then open up with Scottsboro. And was there a reasoning behind you and Coach Bell, both of you are new head coaches, to move that game to the first game? And I also noticed you scheduled a rivalry with, I believe, South Pittsburgh in there too.
Well, it just kind of lucked up. When I got the job, Coach Bell and I talked probably the afternoon when I got announced that morning. We talked that afternoon, and he was looking to move the game to week 0 because he wanted to be able to have an off week during the season, and I thought that was a terrific idea. Being able to schedule Scottsboro week 0 has changed the intensity of the summer. We've been able to have a carrot that we can dangle in front of our players that they know what they're competing for. And by moving it up, it's right around the corner. And it just so happened to really benefit us. We moved them from week 5 to 0. And anytime you play an out-of-state team like South Pittsburgh, their rules are different than ours in the preseason. They get to play 4 preseason games. So I did not think it was in our players' benefit at all to play that game early. And with the opportunity to move Scottsboro and get them week 5. And we did that for our seniors. Our seniors in our community being able to play on the road in a big game every year and being able to have either Scottsboro or South Pittsburgh at home was very important because those are going to be big-time atmospheres, electric atmospheres. We've never played this game since North Jackson's been a high school. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be something exciting for the players to look forward to. And anytime you can play these non-region area games and they can be big-time rivalries that matter for pride, it's fun and exciting for the kids because, again, this is high school football. We need to play games that these kids are going to remember. And where we're located in the state and 4A football, we're kind of over in that corner. So most of our teams, we got to go to Huntsville all the time. Well, our older fans and some of the fans that have been a part of this deal since it was Stevenson and Bridgeport, they want to see some teams that they recognize that they used to play, and it will draw bigger crowds and get people out there. So when it just kind of lucked up, Coach Bell and I talked about it, then Coach Jones and I over at South Pittsburgh talked about it, and it wasn't really hard at all. It took about 24 hours to get everything done. All the principals, all the superintendents, everybody was on board, so it just kind of happened really quick, and we're very excited for that.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys, for being with us today, and good luck to the Chiefs this year.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.